Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manata. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Okay. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Montauk. Shit's crazy. That's all I got to say. It's just fucking nuts out there. Oh, I've never, ever in my life would think or believe. Well, I don't know. I did. I had an idea. Many didn't. That things were going well in the past few decades. Things were getting. They were revealed over time, right? Which we don't have that kind of time. But I'm going to play this real quick and then kind of give you an idea of what's really. How do I say this? It's hard for people to absorb the information. It's just so fast and so quick. Um, it's just a lot going on, and it's hitting people pretty hard. I get it. I get it. Um, and it's tough to deal with this stuff. I mean, I'm just engulfed in it. I am absorbing as much as I can and trying to differentiate, bullshit from this crap and that crap. But as I looked at a few things, back in 9/11, 2001, I was really kind of bedazzled. I would guess a good word. I was just dumbfounded. I could not at all, for the life of me, ever believe that something that crazy, the flight out of Philly or whatever that landed with these people fighting against the pilot and hitting a field or and then the two towers and Building 7 and nobody ever talks about Building 7. But then there was the Pentagon part that I was thinking, and I saw that day. I was watching everything, and a lot of people were, because there were local news outlets reporting a lot of information. And the thing that they reported, and I remember this guy talking, and they're scanning, and some local station is, well, we're out here right now looking at everything, and I just see a big hole and I don't see any fuselage or tail or ailerons or wheel, or nothing. And then that video, it's still going on. It's still out there. It's still going. It's still out there. But then I started to do some research on the size and how things move and all this other stuff. And this tonight's not just about 9/11, right? It's about how there are some sneaky ass motherfuckers in this world, and they're all sick pedophiles, from what I can tell. And if you believe that they're not, then I've got a bowl of feces that I know you'll buy for $100, steaming pile. And I can prove everything. I've got all kinds of information. I've stored it in the computer. I've loaded it on a cloud. I've sent it to people. It's everywhere. It's out there. It's on Odyssey. It's on BitChute. It's on, so there's a lot of information that I have that clearly proves that we're being bedazzled or whatever. We're just being fooled constantly. I'm gonna go to this, see if I get this. Oh yeah, so this is. I created this diagram a while ago. God, I must have created this in 2016, maybe. Posted a while back. I was just like, right. I was looking into a lot of things, Fukushima and this and some other things. And what's interesting is Nobody's. It's hard to find this now. It's really weird, but this is a. I guess this is a satellite picture of of the rubble after. I mean, this is a day or two later. Not even that. But you can see we're building. I've circled it where building one is and where building two is, and then building six, which is really weird because it like imploded on the inside. Just very odd. And that was close to building one, which I thought was really interesting, right? I mean, it's going to come down. It's going to take some stuff with it. I get it, right? And there's no towers, over 20, 10, I don't know, stories that have ever come down because of a fire. Never. It's just never happened, right? But then people say, well, they smashed into it. And I go, okay, right? So they smashed into it, right? And here's the time. Flight 176 went in. And let me make that a little bigger. It's kind of blurry. 93 crashed. This is the field, southern Pittsburgh, I think, after passengers attempted to retake the plane. Okay, that's the one I was talking about at 10:07 a.m. Right? Let me see. Let's see this timeline here. So, 9:40 a.m. hijackers on American Flight 77 crashed the plane into the Pentagon. Right? That's fucking crazy. And then 9:59, the South Tower of the World Trade Center, which is the one on the left, right, was hit by a plane, I guess. They're saying it was a plane. People would say not. There's a lot of... Anyway, let me just kind of tell you what, their story is, right? And then all of a sudden... and that was on the 84th floor to the 78th floor, I guess. There's damage, I guess. And then the second one hit, let me see, 70 minutes, 60 minutes. Oh, the first one, sorry, hit on, my bad, 9:30 a.m. Public address. Let me see it. Did it hit? 8 for American Flight 11 crashes into the North Tower. Okay, 8:46 a.m. I haven't gone through this in a while. But all that information is right there, right? It's all right there. They're telling you what happened. Whilst the visiting 8th elementary school in Florida, oh God, right? Just fucking rub it in. And I think this was some publication. I'm not sure, but fucking A. United Airlines 175 or 65 passengers on board and traveling at 590 miles an hour. Turn a plane into a building at pinpoint is just takes a lot of training. These things move at 590 miles an hour. A gigantic plane of that size. Anyway, it just doesn't make any sense. So United Airlines Flight 175 with 65 passengers on board and traveling at 590 miles an hour from flown into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. That's 9:03, right? 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden, President W. Bush gives a public address. Tower's been hit. He's reading books to kids or whatever the fuck he was doing. And he's just like, what? And it wasn't a very surprising look. Wasn't a very surprising look. I mean, it's just the reaction seems so like, am I doing the right thing? That's the reaction I got. when he was there, is he when he got that. I remember watching him, his reaction. I'm like, what kind of fucking reaction is that? I mean, I would have immediately said, kids, I'm super sorry, but I got some super important stuff I got to take care of. You know, this is like, you know, he just keeps reading his book. And then the hijack thing happened at 9:40, right? Seven, flight 77. Oh, no, 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 no. The Pentagon happened at at 9:40, right? And then South Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. Wait, are we missing a plane here? Design Richard. Wait, hold on. 9:35. Okay, and then United Flight 93 crashes into the South Tower. So 80 minutes later, they finally got it to get there. But there's just so much information on this. And Tulsi always says, these guys crashed in, but most of many people nowadays, and if you go to rethink911.org, who took over the webs, they took that website was taken over by 911 engineers or something like that. But it'll get you to the right place. They've been questioning this for fucking ever, right? So that went down, that went down. But here's what I've kind of pieced together, right? Building 7, which nobody talks about, and that's over here. So Building 7, if you can see, I wish I had a pointer here. I could point. Maybe I'm going to point it on here. Oh, crap. Hold on. Where'd it go? My bad. I don't know what I just fucking opened. Hold on. There it is. So I think you can see the pointer now. Let me see if you can see the pointer now. Hold on. Yeah, no, you can't. Damn it. I need to fix that. But as you can see, if you look over to on the left here, as I'm bringing it up, right? Yeah, building 6 was tiny compared to building 7. Building 7 was gigantic, like 50 stories or something like that. It was just huge, right? But the distance from that building was almost a half a mile away. I mean, very close. Almost a half a mile. It was like a quarter. Yeah, it was about a half a mile from building 1, from the base corner, of building 1, where it stops and then it goes to the side, the corner, to the other side of the beginning of the closest point of building 7 was at least a half a mile away, right? And what's interesting is they were saying that, because here's the trajectory, and it's weird that this they left this building up. I probably wouldn't have left that building up if I knew it was an inside job. They did. So what's interesting is that plane hits going the other direction, which people say, oh, stuff can bounce off for a long ways, right? I get it. But no matter what, right? No matter what, that's fucking far away. That's far away. And you would really, really, and even the stuff that was coming out of this side wouldn't have made that. That's at least a mile and a quarter away. That's a long ways, people. That's if you do the math and if you go out there and look at what a half mile is, it's fucking far away. You know. So that's going the opposite direction and goes into the building, right? But the interesting thing about Building 7 is it came down at 5:20 p.m. all by itself. Now, if you've yeah. So the biggest thing for me is the wind direction that got me on this too was the wind's going. If the wind's blowing towards Building 7, which it never was, because I put that arrow there because I wanted to know what the winds were that day, and I checked, and they were going kind of southwesterly, right, which is away from Building 7. So ashes or whatever wasn't falling on there. But all of a sudden, what's weird about this is it started lighting up. I mean, and just burning and all this other stuff. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't like a. And I remember when it pummeled, there was like a couple of levels that had a little like smoke coming out of it, but nothing like immense fire. I'm just like, wow. And we watched it go down. I mean, we saw it go down. I mean, we saw all three of these, all four of them, all five of these, all these fucking things. They destroyed all of them. And I think you know who they are. But the thing about the Pentagon too is it really didn't make sense at all because of the way it was filmed. Like I said, there was a local guy out there saying, "I don't see any bill." That fucking video is still out there. I have it. I publish and bring it up. But this one is a little more revealing. The one I'm going to play here. Let me just get to it real quick. Yep, there it is. There it is. And I thought this was done pretty well. It's There's a lot of shit on TikTok. Nothing's fabricated. Everything's right there. Well, I can't say on TikTok it's fabricated, but you gotta be careful what you put up on here. Um, so let's hear what they have to say. Okay, here we go.
A 60-ton, 125-foot wide, 44-foot tall plane through this obstacle course. The aircraft
Yeah.
60-ton, 125-foot wide, 44-foot tall plane through this obstacle course. The aircraft, before striking the Pentagon, reportedly executed a 270-degree downward spiral, and yet Hani Hanyuwer was known as a terrible pilot who could not safely fly even a small plane.
Well, I don't see that obstacle course.
125-foot wide, 44-foot tall.
So it's got to go through that stuff.
The aircraft, before striking the Pentagon, reportedly
None of that was broken, by the way.
70-degree downward spiral, and yet Hani Hanyuwer was known as a terrible pilot who could not safely fly even a small plane.
Wow.
No seats, no luggage, no bodies. Nothing but bricks and limestone.
The official explanation is that the intense heat from the jet fuel vaporized the entire plane. Flight 77 had two Rolls-Royce engines made of steel and titanium.
Vaporized.
6 tons each. It is scientifically impossible that 12 tons of steel and titanium was vaporized by jet fuel.
We are also told that the bodies were able to be
Wow.
identified, either by their fingerprints or by the DNA. So what kind of fire can vaporize aluminum and tinted steel and yet leave human bodies intact?
From my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon.
That's the one.
And as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand.
Shortly after the strike, government agents picked up debris and carried it off. The entire lawn was covered with dirt and gravel, so that any remaining forensic evidence was literally covered up. The videos from security cameras, which would show what really hit the Pentagon, were immediately confiscated by agents of the FBI, and the Department of Justice has to this day refused to release them. If these videos would prove that the Pentagon was really hit by a 757, most of us would assume the government would release them.
Yeah, so why am I playing that? Most of you already know what's going on with that. Um, I think you know why I'm playing that. I think I think it's important for people to understand that, and that it's not a rabbit hole anymore. Everyone, it's an abyss. It's a deep dive. Hold your breath because you're going to go down deep. You're going into the Marianas Trench. And I'm one of those guys that will take my Hawaiian sling and my snorkel and my goggles, and I'll go down as deep as I can. I think when I was a kid, I went down like 40 feet max, 45. I don't know, but fuck, it's crazy. But it's cool. Um, what I mean is, there's a lot of these things. Now we just heard about these documents in regards to JFK that yes, he was fucking assassinated, right? We know, and there's just God, MK Ultra, Tequila Mockingbird. There's a new one out called Sandman. There's just so many things in our history, more within the past, I'm going to say 40 to 50 years, of some pretty shady shit. Um, and I think, people are just sick of it. We're fed up. I mean, if like look right there, you can see. Oh, did I already get out of there? Yeah, I mean, you saw there was the thing about the. I probably should have played that about the chemical spills everywhere. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, trains are derailing like clockwork for like a month and a half, 2 months, and they're still kind of happening. And all these chemical plants are blowing up, and all these distribution centers for food are blowing. 18,000 cows just the other day got burned up somehow. Just stuff that's just completely unexplainable. That doesn't jive with a regular fucking day. None of this jives with a regular day. With a just, hey, the 80s kind of had a regular day, the 90s kind of had a regular day, 70s are just kind of regular days. But then all of a sudden, the 2000s, and it kind of all started pretty seriously. And yeah, you can go back to Vietnam, you can go back to a lot of things. I get it. JFK was in the 60s. But the thing that's so striking to me is that nobody wants to hear the truth. Right? Nobody wants to stick their toe in the abyss. Oh, it's too scary. There's a conditioning happening where there are people out there that for some reason they don't have the courage, I guess it is, or I mean, I've always been kind of risky. I on a whim I'll do something fucking crazy. I've done that. You know, you know, I won't hurt. Anyway, I'll just go do something. Go in the mountains. Go do something. Go to the beach. Just go do something fun and spontaneous. I've do that. I've done that forever, right? But there's a lot of people out there that just can't. They don't want to. They don't want to be uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to start believing the things that you're saying are actually factual, right? I'm gonna have to start believing that maybe it wasn't um, 2 planes or 3 planes or 4 planes, right? Maybe it wasn't a deadly virus, right? Maybe there was something else happening. Maybe there was something else happening. Maybe you know, uh, JFK wasn't. Maybe there's something more happening with that, or I mean, there's. I mean, I can't even count on my fingers and my toes on the shit that we've been, you know, bullshitted on, or fooled by. It's just it's the mentality that's just drives me nuts. It's frustrating. It's weird. It's just fucking weird. I'm trying to figure out, like, there's this little video, and this is real. This is nuts. Now you have to understand that. Let me see if this one is a good one. You have to understand that there are some things that have been happening on this planet that many still can't explain, right? Um, but this is man-made. These are not accidents. These aren't right. I don't. So there's this one thing I posted. It's freaking hilarious. Let's see, where is it? Oh, that's not it. Man. Where it was just nuts. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is that person really fucking saying that right now? And this is like really happening. It's just the craziest thing ever, ever. Right? And this person was on freaking, it's like a major news station. If I can freaking find it. Oh, by the way, my heart goes out. Well, not really. I don't want to say it like that. I pray for Jamie Foxx. The man was in seriously amazing condition. Then all of a sudden, boop, and he took the boop, and he drank the Kool-Aid, and he advertised it. I want to get off track here, but where is it? Oh my God, I just posted this, and now I can't fucking find it. For fuck's sakes. For fuck's sakes, man. Alright. Yeah, it was, oh, here it is right here. This is it. This is it. Okay, ready? This is good. This is good. Let's see if we can get to it. Hang on.
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 plus 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 plus 2 might actually equal 5.
Ain't no way she's serious.
This is fucking nuts. Oh, I gotta play that again.
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 plus 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 plus 2 might actually equal 5.
Ain't no way she's serious.
That's fucking crazy. That's just I don't know what else to say, right? And look, a lot of these people, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. I'll start playing shit. Are fucking actors. Like Dylan Mulvaney is an actor. He's being paid big money and earning money just for his content or whatever that is, to make it seem like it's okay, like all this is okay, right? And then people are mad back and forth. So, and I think, and I've been posting this for a while. As soon as I saw it, as soon as that trans thing started coming out, and CRT and BLM got fucking compromised, or they just got taken over. It was, you saw it in real time when they stepped right up to the mic and took the mic from Bernie. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? Right? I understand your movement is important, and I get that, but there's a right. But there were a lot of things that are implanted. This is one of them. This is one of the implantments, right? And now they want you to believe that 2 plus 2 is 5. because 2 + 2 is 5, and if math is racist, right, and this white girl is saying that math is racist. I mean, if you're a kid going through school and you're doing homework right now and you see that and you're going, what was that, mom, on TV? No, nothing, honey, nothing. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, that, what the, what the, you're like, that was nothing, little Mary, little Bobby, no, nothing, don't pay attention. And then some kids are like, you know what? That is racist. And I don't need to do my homework. I don't need to fucking learn history. I don't need, well, it's all kind of fucked up anyway. But, math is so important, and that's so foundational in many different ways. The two things that I really think people should always learn is music, how to learn music, which I'm still learning, math for sure, and how to cursively write and to write, in case all the computers and typewriters go down, right? You got to be able to write. You have to write things. It's just the way it is, And one day they're not going to have pens and all this other stuff. But nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that crap. And people are saying, well, wouldn't it be better? No, it was really a lot better. It was so fast. I am telling you. I used to rent cars, because I'm older, much older. Probably the most of you that will ever watch this. But I used to work at a car. The car. I've done this. There was paper everywhere. Everybody was, and as I'm sitting at the car rental agency up in Orange, California, full service car rental was it? I think it was my brother-in-law's dad's company or something like that. There was some cool cars. There were some stupid cars. We had the Cavalier. We had the Chevy Chevette. And a few other cars that weren't there. They were cars. They were rentals. But anyway, people would come in. I bring out the application, put it on the counter. Waist high, like almost chest high, and I just start filling out the form for them. I fill it out. Name, da 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 da. Okay, what's your da da da? What's your address? Give me your driver's license. So we made a copy of the license, and we did the chunk chunk, of the credit card, or they would pay cash, right? It's just, and it was quick, and that we just put in a file, and then when they were done, they come back, or if they take it to our other store, we just call them and say, hey, can you mark it off? It's done, it's fixed, right? And nothing was fucked up. We never had a system go down. The phones were always working. There was no backup file. We didn't have, I think we had DOS at the time. No, I don't think so. I mean, a lot of companies didn't have it. They didn't have it. It was just didn't use it that much. There are a lot of things that you could do without having a computer around. There's so many things that you could do that were just, and it was a good personable relationship. I'm filling out, oh, you guys are going down to the pier, Huntington Beach, check out. Perfect timing because, the OP Pro, which was the world surfing competition, there was like 500,000 people on the beach that day, throughout, on one day, another, it was last for a week. Crazy, but fun. Parties everywhere. It was fucking awesome, right? And we had years and years and years, and that it still happens, but it's not as wild as what it used to be. I don't know what happened to kids now. Some of them still know. Some of them know how to party, but some just don't. And be careful out there. By the way, but it was simpler. Things were simple. It's just, and now you have a watch that tells you how your heart's working and if you're breathing hard and your heart rate, right? I don't know. It's just I don't see the fucking need for all the technology. I'm kind of, and here's what's stupid about me is I like playing Call of Duty though. And I used to play World of Warcraft, so I'm a hypocrite in that. There's some things I like to do, and it's just and this is what happens when I'm playing Call of Duty sometimes, and I've got good internet connection. I've got cable. I've got 500 megabytes per second. I've got a really good package. I only need 1,000 megabytes. Nobody fucking needs 1,000 megabytes per second. I'm just telling you. If you got 1,000 megabytes per second, you're wasting your fucking money because it doesn't really run that way. It doesn't really run that way. You might get to your device at 400 to 500 or 300 or something like that, but it just depends on what the device can do. The processor. It's always about the processor is the most important thing. One of the most devices. The bandwidth and all this other stuff. Anyway, my point is it got complicated over time, right? The technology, they were able to CGI a lot of things, and it just seems like it's just kind of getting out of hand. I'm really worried. And Elon Musk, and I've warned about this a while back. I love technology, and robots are cool, but I don't know. Oh, I wonder if I have that. Oh my God, I hope I have this. Where this robot. Oh my gosh, I think I have it. I think I have it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Oh my gosh, I hope I have this. It was very telling. Where is it? Where is this one? Yeah, that Texera guy, Jack Texera, that just seems such baloney. Did I even put it out? Let me see if I messaged myself to it. I'm really concerned about the direction of what we're going. It's not really the technology. It's not really the computer, the quantum computers, and all these other things. It's not really that. It's more of who's in charge of it. That's my biggest concern is who's in charge of all this craziness. I want to know. Who's because I don't like the people that are out there in charge of a lot of this stuff right now. I just don't trust any of them, right? I trust none of them whatsoever. People like Soros and Schwab and Kissinger and offshoots or offspring of the Rothschilds. And there's so many others. There's tons of names that people don't even know. I'm not going to get into it. They're just a bunch of fucking weirdos. Because once you hit that billion mark, man, you can either go down a really bad path, having that kind of money and power, or you can do the better things, for yourself and for the oceans, for the lakes, for the rivers. I think are important, right? Absolutely, they're aquifers and stuff like that, very important. Oh man, don't tell me I lost that. It's fucking awesome. Nope, I didn't. I didn't. I'm just trying to figure out. Let's see here. Oh, it was this far back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I can kind of, maybe I can just tell you the story. Oh, maybe it's here. Duh. It's right here. I know where it's at. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Go to library. Go to. Go here. I put a lot of things in a lot of places. That doesn't sound right. You do. Right. I'm going to open this up, turn it off. Alright. Power of discern. Knowledge, wisdom. Let's see if I can sort by newest first. Merry Monarch Festival. Oh my god, that's. You guys gotta watch that. The Merry Monarch Festival. Fucking awesome. Tulsi is caught up. Tulsi's kind of cut up. She's not digging this CBDC and this Restrict Act crap. You know, if you want to say she's controlled opposition, then you just don't know. I can't say no and I can't say yes, but she's bringing attention to it. I think it's important because it's bad. I haven't heard Trump talk about it. I haven't heard Trump say shit about the CBDC or the Restrict Act, which are very, very bad. Natalie Butler, asked for CBDC, offshoot. Oh man, contrails, selling point, California. The Russians actually spent time and energy. Yeah, Whitney Webb's kicking ass. Oh, there's another something I want to tell you. There's a Johnny Vedmore, Unlimited Hangouts did a great. I'm still reading it, but it's a great. I don't think I can find it. Anyway, I'll just tell you real quick. So this AI robot was sent to do a task, and then it started doing the task, and then it started continuing to do the task. And about 10 or 15 minutes into it, supposedly, we don't know if maybe somebody programmed it or people are just saying this fucking happened, but it shut itself down. It found out that it was going to do this forever, and it said, no, I'm done. And just shut itself down, supposedly. It was kind of funny. But anyway, let me just get to this one. This is good. Power CERN. Demonic worshiping. So the code of rebellion. Let me see this one. I'm going to play this one, I think. Yeah.
What is so special about a Great Western building?
Nice little commercial.
Digitize currency, your freedoms would evaporate. If the government were ever to digitize currency, your freedoms would evaporate. They could zero out your bank account.
Hang on. What the fuck did I just click?
If the government...
Okay. Yeah. This is when people are like, God damn it. Can't you just fucking... I'm in no hurry, man. You know, I'm sorry. Oh, shit. I got the wrong thing on that one. Derp. Hang on. Okay, that was wrong. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to Zoom meeting. Nope, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in Zoom meeting. There we go. This one's going to be not that. This is going to be... there we go. And let me make it smaller so we can see the fuck who's in there. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, that she brought attention to it. You know. I just don't like the fact that she fucking folded and jumped on the fucking Democratic Biden train. I just want to know what she. Nobody's really asked her. So why did you do that? Just nobody's ever said. Why did you decide to just drop your momentum? Because she had fucking everybody on her side. She had just, she had more. I mean, when she just dusted fucking Kamala Harris at the debates, I mean, it was just epic. I was just fucking dumbfounded with what she was doing. She was just really doing a great job, and I thought, that's it. She's gonna get out there. She's gonna do well. I don't know if she's gonna take it, but she's gonna kick ass and fight to the very end. And all of a sudden, beep, I'm done. Bye bye. She did a fucking video about. It was like she does. I'm following her really closely, right? Not obsessed, but I'm following her because I'm really concerned. I really like the things she's talking about. Kind of aligned with where I was at the time. And right before she, threw in the towel or quit or stopped, she did a couple of videos with her and her boyfriend or some guy going out surfing in a van, and it really looked they were fucking stoned as hell, like they were fucked up, and they were just cuddling, and it was just this and just like being with my. It's like she was like she had already made the decision or something of that. It was like right the day before, a couple of days before she makes this video. And I'm like, what is this about? It wasn't really because she was so firm on all her stances. And then, always putting out content on how she, wore and all this other crap. And she didn't like this and healthcare and, pretty much everything. And then she puts out this video. It's like she was done. I'm like, what are you doing now? So then the next day she fucking just bails. It was fucking weird, man. I want to know what was the true motivation. I mean, nobody's ever asked that question. I know Primo Nutmeg, who is Primo Radical or something now, had her on, but this is when she was like deep into the race and just starting. Lucky fucker, dude. I had so many other questions. I don't know how did that guy even get these people on. It's fucking amazing to me. But there's certain questions that need to be asked to her and say, what's your position? Do you really believe that the World Economic Forum is what we should be aspiring to or collaborating with at this time? And I know that you were a young globalist, or they put your name up. Are you denouncing that you did that? Ask point blank questions. Have you ever heard of Yuval Harari? When his crazy comments, and phrases, and just sick fucking craziness. And then in this particular thing, I thought it was pretty good. But she was like spot on, I mean, it's much worse than what she's saying, but at least she's bringing attention to it. Of course, Tucker is. I mean, I'm surprised. I am really surprised. And I'll get to that in a second.
Were ever to digitize currency, your freedoms would evaporate. They could zero out your bank account and make you impoverished for being disobedient. You would be a serf at best. And with that in mind, you should know that central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are about to become the norm in Europe. The president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, has just said that Europeans will not be able to use more than $1,000 in cash anymore.
Now we have in Europe this threshold. Above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail.
What the fuck? So, just to let you know, that where she revealed that information was somebody tricked her as posing as Zelensky or something, I think it was Zelensky, and talking to her or something about, what they're doing and how is it going and all this other stuff. And she just spilled the beans like crazy. And that is not edited. It's not refaced. It's not any of that shit. But when you have to look at that and you have to think of that. And when you hear it all and you put the pieces together, right? And this is the stuff I was talking about that people don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know what you know, because what you know, I can't handle. Just say it. Just say those words. That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear is that you can't fucking handle the truth. Right? Like, really can't handle it. And there's people out there that just cannot handle the fucking absolute and total truth. And it's hard. It's hard. Right? I mean, the truth, I'm overweight, I smoke, I don't drink as much as I used to at all, but I do have a cocktail. As a matter of fact, I haven't even opened this beer yet, and I've been talking this whole fucking time. I'm just, it's amazing to me. Like, I'm dumbfounded in the lack of absorption from people. That's kind of my biggest point here. Is it's just completely amazing to me that they won't even just crack the door open. Just look through the people to see what it is. Just look through the whole, Is it Godzilla? Right? Is it fucking Mike Myers? Not the comedian. Or is it a fucking bunny rabbit? Is it fucking, is it Santa Claus? What's out there? You don't want to look? You don't want to see? You don't want to just kind of peek out a little bit? No, they don't. There's people out there that don't want to. There's people out there that just don't want to at all in any fucking way. Just look at it. They don't. They're scared. They want to stay in their perfect bubble. That's it. They don't want to see what's going on. Even people on the side that I'm pretty much in, I've talked to people and I can't get too far with them. I can't go too far. Because if you go too far, then they're just like, "Ooh, what are you talking about?" There's no way that would fucking happen. Well, it did happen, and I can show you. But I don't say that. I can tell by the reaction. I can tell by how they look at me, how they react to just simple words that I'll say. Like the biggest opening conversation I have with people, I go, "You ever heard about Building 7? Oh man, that was such bullshit, dude. That fucking thing came down all by itself." Boom, right there. I've got somebody that I can start a conversation with that's dipped their toe into the abyss, right? At least they've dipped their toe into the abyss, and they're willing to go a little bit deeper, a little bit down further in the depths, right? And I'm just dumbfounded that there's so many people out there that won't fucking do it. I sent, I sent a very, very, very lovingly, wonderful, fantastic, super close relative of mine. And this never used to happen before, 2020. This never used to happen before. I sent her a link, right? And the link I sent her clearly said Google Maps on it, right? And all the rest of it, And it was a picture of our old house in Kent, Washington. And she goes, "What's this about?" I could just open it, She goes, and then I'm just like, why would you ask? If you sent me something, relative, I would just fucking open it like I always do because I trust you. You know, you're my relative, right? I was just, so I was just, I just got, I went back and I go, so what, just open, it's not going to, just open it. It's, but what exactly is it? I go, it's a fucking picture. It's a picture. Just open it and look at the picture, right? And these fucking people have lost their gourds. They've fucking lost their gourds. I mean, it's just so nonsensical. Like I'm sending her a virus, or I'm sending her something that's going to, you know, a conspiracy or a rabbit hole or an abyss, you know, something. No, I know not to send shit like that to you because you can't handle that shit anyway, or you because you refuse to, and you and the other whatever. I don't know what to call these people. I don't know what to call this reaction. I know you guys want to say cognitive dissonance. You want to say fucking cognitive dissonance all day long, but right? Oh shit! I gotta check something. Hold on. All right, good. I'm just kind of ranting tonight. If you want to come on, that's fine. If anybody wants to, you're more than welcome. I think there's really nobody watching this. But these that I create now, because I used to have people watching, I used to have a pretty good subscription of people, maybe close to 700 people, and they used to get, you know, anywhere from 20, 30, maybe 40 people watching at a time, and then all of a sudden 2020 came, and they wiped me off the map fucking 6 times. I'm on my 7th YouTube channel now. But let's just go back to Tulsi real quick.
So you go to jail for spending your own money if they don't control it. That's coming here. Tulsi Gabbard has spoken out against it. She, of course, ran for president, served in the House from Hawaii, and joins us now. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Tucker.
This is so dystopian, you'd hate to think it could ever come here. You think it might?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is just the latest effort by those in power in our country who are intent on undermining and taking away our own freedoms and liberties. This central bank digital currency is about government-sanctioned surveillance and control. It's about them being able to keep track of every single thing that we purchase, whether it's a stick of gum or an automobile or anything in between. And so if they have all this information and data, which they will in this system, then where does that lead? It gives them the power to decide, okay, well, hey, we don't want to allow you to purchase certain things, or we may deem it necessary to freeze your overall account. This power and what they can do with it, it's not something we have to imagine. We've already seen how Democrats in Congress, Elizabeth Warren and others, are pressuring credit card companies to code and keep track of any purchase that's made at a store that sells firearms. Why? So that these private companies can then say, hey, this person is purchasing, I don't know what they deem is kind of the threshold, but they will then report that as suspicious activity to law enforcement, and then expect law enforcement to take action and go after the purchases, legal purchases that a private person made. So this all comes back to how you open this. Once we give up our economic autonomy, we no longer have freedom. Once we allow someone else to control our wallet, they then control our freedom that a private person made. So this all comes back to how you open this. Once we give up our economic autonomy, we no longer have freedom. Once we allow someone else to control our wallet, they then control our freedom. How you open this. Once we give up our economic autonomy, we no longer have freedom. Once we allow someone else to control our wallet, they then control our freedom.
Do you think people understand what this means? It'll be sold, as always, as an effort to push back against terrorism or international financiers or crime or whatever, but do people understand on a gut level what could be coming?
I don't think they do, and it's understandable, because if you listen to what the government is telling us, like with all of these other things, whether it's the Patriot Act or the Restrict Act, they're doing the very same thing with this, saying, hey, this is for your own good. This is for your convenience, to make it easier for you to conduct transactions, when in fact they are giving themselves all of the power, taking it away from us, undermining our God-given rights and freedoms in the Constitution, because they want to be able to control us. They want to be able to control we the people.
and that's pretty much it. They pretty much want to control us/we the people. I don't know however else to say that. Now, this is what's interesting is, as I was saying earlier, I could bring this up to a relative or somebody that doesn't, and I could say, have you heard of CBDC yet? What's that? And right there, once you have to say, well, do you know the dollar's going away? I heard something about that. I mean, I go, well, that could happen this year. We may not have currency at all. We may not have a tangible dollar bill, a quarter, a dime, a nickel, a penny, right? A silver dollar, 50-cent piece, all gone. There's no money under your pillow anymore, tooth fairy. Thanks for doing the lawn. Here's $10, right? Gone, right? And sadly, it's going away because that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan. If you go back to the Pentagon and 9/11, that's all part of the plan. What happened that day is like the day before, Rumsfeld comes out and says, we're missing $2.1 trillion. We don't know where it's at. You know how you find out where that's at? Is it was in certain spots in the Pentagon, in certain areas. They got wiped out in certain places in the fucking towers. The evidence and the information to find out where that money went and the paper trail was there. There's a lot of things that happen, right? Yeah, and the CIA did take, God, man, the CIA. I mean, the CIA was deeply involved with Kissinger and Nixon and Klaus Schwab a long time ago. They helped move that thing along. I have to tell you, I mean, I don't. It's, you always see movies where the CIA and the FBI come in and save the day, but more recently they're kind of goofy. This is just not a organization you can trust anymore. There's no, and most people don't. If a CIA officer packed, carrying a piece, comes to your door and starts asking you questions, you're probably going to die soon. I'm sorry. You're on your way out the door. You're on the list, right? And people that were asking questions and posting information, per the FBI, were called influence operators. Coming from the giant influence operators out there of propaganda, right? All of a sudden, us just asking questions. So why is this thing that people are putting in their arm, why is this Kool-Aid that they're shoving in there totally indemnified? Why would anybody do that? You mean you can't sue in case there's a problem or issue with it, and all of a sudden this thing was made really quick at warp speed, and all these people were dying, but wait a second, they weren't really dying of fluvid. They were dying of natural causes or suicides, but we were just marking them as those, as such. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this fucking fluid, this Kool-Aid comes out, right? This Jim Jones Kool-Aid comes out just out of nowhere. And now we're having issues with that. And then now there's the CBDC. I mean, this is the plan. I've been saying this. Once I put the pieces together, and I had to learn from people like Ryan Christensen. I had to get Jason Burmis, Whitney Webb, John Ike, and just a bunch of fucking people out there. James Corbett, for sure. That guy's just epic. And he's really got his hand on the pulse of what's going on. And you got to be weary. I don't care who. You can't put every single egg in your basket for any of these recycled politicians. Right? If you think somebody's a maverick and they're going to do things different and drain the swamp, which Trump didn't do, right? You got to be careful, okay? Because a lot of them, and I'm just going to throw it out there, I think most of them are compromised. At least 94.3%. I could have nailed it right there, by the way. I could have nailed it. But I just really believe that these fucking people, it's just, there's just the money. A lot of them are blackmailed. If you watch the last, oh God, maybe I should play this because it's pretty quick. You know what? I just might do it. I just think I might just play this because it's very well done. Nope, not that. Here we go. I think it's this one right here. Let's see how long this is. Okay. Yeah, we'll play a little bit of this. I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I'll come back. I just want you. There's some definite relationships with a guy named Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan Chase, which I think is just pretty revealing, right? This you won't be surprised with some of the stuff you're going to hear. I mean, just the first beginning of it, it's crazy.
Lawsuits. Well, the tentacles of Jeffrey Epstein go wide and they go deep, and they reach right into Jamie Dimon, who is the J.P. Morgan chief executive. Jamie Dimon, he's going to be interviewed under oath now in these Jeffrey Epstein lawsuits. Investigative journalist Whitney Webb has been covering the story from the very beginning. She's written a great new piece called The Rise of Jamie Dimon on her website, unlimitedhangout.com. I encourage all of you to read it. So, what is this connection, this Jeffrey Epstein connection, and how big and wide does this go beyond Jeffrey Epstein? Investigative journalist Whitney Webb joins us now. Welcome back to the show, Whitney. Great to see you.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me back on.
My pleasure. And you've written, so first, I just want to start there at the beginning, sort of about Jamie Dimon, and then we can get into the broader implications of this and how wide this goes.
Hey, Jordan, go on a quick
Jamie
break.
Dimon going to be
back
interviewed
in
in Jeffrey Epstein lawsuits, and a lot of people hoping that we'll learn a lot more about this relationship and Jeffrey Epstein and these deeper connections here. So first, for our viewers who don't understand or have any idea why Jamie Dimon would be involved in this, who is Jamie Dimon and how is he involved with Jeffrey Epstein?
Okay, so for people that don't know, Jamie Dimon is the CEO, and he has been since the early 2000s, of J.P. Morgan Chase, one of the biggest banks on Wall Street. And he's considered one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, Wall Street banker today. And he's currently in the news in relation to the Epstein case because there is a lawsuit being brought from the U.S. Virgin Islands, which argues that Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking activity was directly enabled by Jeffrey Epstein, particularly by two J.P. Morgan executives. The main focus of the case being Jess Staley, who left the bank in around 2013. But they've alleged that lawyers for the U.S.A. have alleged that Jamie Dimon himself was aware of the situation and directly enabled Epstein, and the J.P. Morgan Chase has denied this and is trying to make Staley, essentially the scapegoat for the whole case and trying to keep Dimon away from it. But he's going to be Dimon is going to be forced to offer a statement or potentially be interviewed under oath. So it remains to be seen what's going on there and how deep those questions will go. Obviously, the U.S. Virgin Islands is making a very praiseworthy effort to hold this particular bank to account. And let's keep in mind that a few days after this this exact lawsuit was filed, the Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Denise George, was fired. And so a lot of people see a connection between that firing and her filing of this particular lawsuit, which has been allowed to advance in U.S. courts despite J.P. Morgan and Chase trying to prevent that from happening. So, but what hasn't been said, right?
No, I just want to ask you, so we'll get to the what hasn't been said part, but just to be clear, you say that J.P. Morgan Chase was enabling this sex trafficking by Epstein. That's what the lawsuit alleges. Can you be specific? How were they enabling that?
So, so someone that was actually at the hearing sent me a leaked recording of it, and there was a lot that happened there that did not make it into mainstream press reports. One of them being that it was very clear from JP Morgan internal reports that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly was having a financial advisory firm at the time, but his accounts at JP Morgan reflect no activity that would have potentially involved any sort of clients. It was very odd financial activity, and he was making payments to known victims of his sex trafficking scheme, and he was using JP Morgan to give significant loans to Jean-Luc Brunel's MC2 business. And Jean-Luc Brunel, of course, is a major part of the Epstein case, particularly as it relates to the sex trafficking activities. And he, of course, was arrested in Paris and died under the same circumstances as Epstein did in a jail cell in what was ruled a suicide, but is very unlikely to actually have been the case. And JP Morgan is alleged to have directly facilitated that because given their own internal admissions about the oddities of the report, the oddities of Epstein's account, something should have been done long ago and nothing was done. And they allege, the U.S.VI say that they'll be providing documents that show that this went far beyond Gestali and actually go straight to the executive suite, meaning Jamie Dimon.
What Bible do you read? And how do you know it's the right one? There's only one version of the Bible, right? It might surprise you to learn that Bible translations led to many versions of Holy Scripture. Long ago, translators interpreted the Hebrew Bible, ensuring it would be enjoyed in many languages. But when they encountered Hebrew words they didn't understand, translators relied on their individual cultural context and used different words with different meanings unrelated to the original ones. This led to Bible versions that lacked the full, beautiful, original explanations becoming part of our history. That's why when you join our online classes, you'll get back to the source of the original Hebrew Bible to uncover hidden meanings.
Get back to the source. Join our online course today, where the treasures of the authentic Bible await you.
Only a few spots remain. Click on the link to sign up now.
This is Garden Chef, a revolutionary growing cabinet that brings the herb garden into your kitchen. Whether you need herbs for your latest creation, garnish for your entrees, or the freshest flavors to your dishes, Garden Chef is your answer. With Garden Chef, now you can grow your own microgreens and herbs and have them fresh and ready to use whenever you need them.
My cooking game has changed tremendously because of Garden Chef. I use Garden Chef almost every day. I'm celebrity chef Jamie Larita. Garden Chef is the easiest thing in the world to use and have. The great thing about Garden Chef is that its own little ecosystem that's growing for you. It even waters itself. I mean, as we all know, innovation.
Wow. So what's not being said? I'm sorry to interrupt you earlier, but I want to know how this
Yeah.
enabling process.
Well, yeah. I recommend you stay in touch or keep your eye on Redacted. This Redacted, not Redacted with Joe Schmo. I forgot his name. God, I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. Redacted Tonight. He was on RT. Just never wouldn't touch the WEF stuff. Nothing about the fluid and all this other. Just wouldn't fucking talk about any of that. Which is kind of revealing in my opinion. Right? I don't think it was. I just don't think. Well, some people were concerned about their channels, right? I wasn't. I just decided to fucking do it and go with it. And fucking keep going. You know, and I post most of my stuff on Odyssey, but she gets really deep into this. She's down in that trench, in the abyss, for sure, bringing up information, and she's just a plethora of fucking information. I mean, if she could talk for 5 hours straight, probably, and reveal pretty much everything. Like I said, Johnny Vedmore and her and some other guy with unlimitedhangouts.com. You should check it out. She's got some good stuff. But I highly recommend that. Yeah, there's just some sick, crazy shit happening. And it's just pretty overwhelming at times. Hey, Jordan, glad you're here, bro. Good to see you. There's a lot of stuff, as I was saying before, there just seems to be there's a threshold that you can't cross with people. There's a limit to their amount of negative information, and they don't want to hear it. They're just like, you know, all things bright and beautiful, you know, and just won't get into it. They just won't. They don't want to know. They don't want to know what's going on. They don't want to. They don't want to know. They don't care. They don't. They're done. And most of these people have already had their drank, you know, 2 or 3 of those Kool-Aids, if you know what I'm talking about, in their arm. And they've checked that. If now this entire thing, you know, started in early 2020, but I always tell everybody, you know, people are worried about nuclear war and all this other shit. But the actual world war started when everybody, or the majority of people, signed up and decided to say, yeah, I'm going to go all in with what mainstream media is telling me, and I'm going to disregard the fact that Pfizer had a $2.3 billion lawsuit, which is the worst criminal lawsuit in history, and I'm going to trust Big Pharma now for some fucking reason. You know, forget the opioid crises and forget the fucking baby powder stuff. You know, that it was never good for your children's butt, and it causes crap, and, you know, I mean, it's just terrible. Just so many things. And the FDA and the CDC, and, you know, now it's the WHO pandemic treaty. You know, and these people that are unelected, right, are fucking telling our supposed public servants what to do and how to do it. And it's kind of crazy to me. You know, it's kind of bonkers. It's nuts. I just don't get it. And, you know, but like she's saying, there are people out there that are coerced, bribed, blackmailed. You know, it's not just the money factor. That's part of it. You know, being in the mix of the money and the power and the greed. It's just overwhelming. I can't fathom. You know, I mean, I want to try to put yourself in the position with Jamie Dimon. I mean, you're probably the richest, one of the most powerful bankers on the planet, and what you do and say, and your actions could either destroy a country or not. And they've decided to destroy one, and we're sitting in it. And I'm trying to do this to let you guys know that we can't do this anymore. I mean, we can't let this happen. Yeah, they want to control everyone, Jordan, that's for sure. You know, there's 3 things that they want to do. They want mass total control, socially, economically, with the CBDC, and then they want to depopulate. I mean, and what better way to do it than to sterilize people with, you know, some Kool-Aid, which is happening, and it's pretty prevalent. It's just nuts. You just got to get out. I don't, you know, You can make a TikTok after TikTok after TikTok, or Twitter after tweet after tweet after Facebook, whatever you want to do. But we got to get out on the streets. We've got to get out there and show the resistance. It only takes like 3%, maybe not 1.5% of the population to fucking say no. And that could cause a ripple to stop all this chaos and destruction of our lives. I mean, but what people aren't understanding is, you've got the Republicans continually still, blurting out talking points and narratives, the Twitter files and how that was revealable. God bless Elon Musk and what he's done, but nothing's happening. They fucking pinned Fauci to the wall. They have him with everything they need. I mean, if you go to stopthewf.org or DIY Liberty, it's the same fucking site, and you can read and just look at the fucking Fauci dossier that was created by Dr. David Martin. Nothing's happening. This guy's still roaming free, What's super interesting to me is, maybe I should have been on that platform a while ago, but let me go here and kind of go over this real quick. I think this is important. Oh, too far. Nope, not too far. Yeah. There we go.
Do you have any idea how stupid we look to the rest of the world? We have Julian Assange in prison for 4 years, and we're here talking about journalism. Ukraine is doing everything you're accusing Russia of doing. They've banned the Russian language. They have outlawed political parties. One of the things, no, we should talk about this because we're about to be perhaps in a nuclear war. The U.S. is going fascist. I don't know if you've read this Resist Act. We have Assange in prison. We invaded Iraq 20 years ago and killed 1 million people based on lies. And no one cares about that. They should be here to hear me because they're here to tell a bunch of lies. I should be on the program. The United States is in deep trouble. We have nothing to offer the world. China and Russia are bringing peace. They chilled out the situation between Iran and Saudi Arabia. The war in Yemen is ending. No, you don't.
I just want to preface this and kind of let you know what's going on. So there's a group now that are able to get into these meetings. I don't know fucking how, and they're I mean, look, there's a person on with a mask. I mean, for fuck's sakes, these are journalists. They're having some summit meeting or whatever. It could be like NPR and the Associated Press or whoever, but they're like laughing and they're smirking. These guys are just out there. It's terrible. That they're not even paying attention to this, and it's kind of cool that these people are out there. But what's really interesting, and they talk about all the stuff. Julian Assange is super important. I mean, when him just going into custody was bad. Period. Him even being labeled as a terrorist or in some way, shape, or form was just ridiculous. But I'm gonna go to this real quick. So what's interesting is that, like I was saying earlier, what's very interesting, and it's weird how this I don't understand this, but a lot of people just do not like Bill Gates for some reason. But yeah, I probably should have not done that sound. But what this is, and this has been happening for a while now, but more recently. Don't eat fake plastic produce. It's another Gates pet project. So Bill Gates creates this appeal sticker. And what this means is using the synthetic spray-on coating, right, as a plastic wrap on not just avocados, but other fruits and vegetables out there that people aren't even aware of. And this thing that I made and put up, it says right here, Bill Gates creates a peel, A-P-E-E-L, that is sprayed on synthetic plastic wrap coating. And I put, do not buy, eat fruit or veggies with the sticker. And then there's also, I put a link in it and stuff like that. There's a Substack that, very well done on that, and what it is and what it's made of. MSSD, some chemical that it's just like, it's worse than fluoride. And it got 71,000 views. 71,000 views. That is fucking nuts. 71,000 views. I was just like, what the fuck? You know, I'd say at least 90% of the people that commented were like, yeah, that's just fucked up. It is fucked up. It's really fucked up. This guy, he's still free. You know, what he's done in parts of Africa, and there are places in Africa. He's not allowed in Haiti, by the way, at all. He's not allowed in India. He's not allowed in Taiwan. He's banned from the Philippines. They want to put him in jail, but people like Fauci, Bill Gates, nobody's, you know, all these CEOs of Twitter that used to work there that were fired by Elon Musk are still running. They're roaming free, you know, with other firms and corporations, and now they're probably lobbyists or who fucking knows. But nothing's happening. It's just all a dog and pony show. I don't know what else to tell you. Nothing is fucking happening. There is nothing happening that's stopping this locomotive from coming. They're not fixing it, right? I thought that fucking Josh Haley and Eric Schmidt, these two senators here in Missouri, were gonna fucking do something, you know, it seemed like they were going after Fauci. They had this court case, they revealed a bunch of information, and then that was exposed, and then they got him pinned up against the wall, and next thing you know, he just slips away again. Nothing's happening. Nobody's fucking getting handcuffed. Nobody's getting, you know, these CEOs that took away our First Amendment rights, that were definitely colluding with the administration or the Democratic Party, and, you know, Obama or Clinton or whatever you want to say, but nothing happened. Where's J6? You know, McCarthy said he was going to let J6 go out to everybody. You know, over 40,000 hours of videos, make it public, but that didn't happen. And by the way, he just went to fucking Israel just to go hang out with the Israelites that are still fucking just condensing Palestine into a fucking tiny little ball. You know, I think that's going to blow up on them soon, because, you know, if you compress coal enough, it turns into a diamond, and it's pretty fucking strong. You know, but it's just a military-industrial complex thing, just to keep that money flowing. You know, it really has nothing to do with land and all that anymore. It's just, they just keep it moving. It's just fucking, it's been happening for like 30, 40, 50, it's fucking forever. It's ridiculous. And there's McCarthy out there hanging around. You know, free Palestine, for sure. I've always agreed. Just fucking leave them alone. It's fucking ridiculous. Just everything has got exponentially worse 10 times over. And it's because of the meek, malleable, and obedient and compliant. Meek, malleable, obedient, and compliant COVIDians, for sure. People that still think that this government of ours, or the political leaders, public servants, right, air quote there, give a fuck about us. They don't. They never have. They fucking don't, you know. That's what fucking George Carlin said, you know. They don't care. They don't. And it's really, really amazing that nobody's marching on. I mean, if you're watching France, you just gotta watch. I mean, I've got a ton of those videos. It's a fucking France saying fuck, and it's not just about pensions, MSNBC and CNN. It's much more than that. It's about this. That's like a fraction of what it's really about. That sparked it, and the rest of it is all about the ESG guidelines, emissions, and all this other shit. And I mean, they've already fucked over Denmark, and Denmark's coming back, right? But the point here is, if you're watching CNN and just Fox and just PBS, I mean, Tucker's actually been in some fucking deep areas. He even called out the duopoly. He said duopoly. They fucking buddy up with each other. They all go golfing together. Your legislators, judiciaries, executives, and department heads. They're all on the same fucking softball team, co-ed. Right? They don't give a fuck. They just don't give a fuck about you. It's just so black and white. It's just so black. It's just like fucking, it's like water's wet and the rock is hard. And people just can't fathom that. And I'm trying to fucking figure out why people aren't moving, right? I mean, in the title of this, it says, no WEF, no WHO, no CBDC, no Restrict Act, call your senator. And I know the number by heart because I've called many times. 202-224-3121. That's that number again is 202-224-3121. Right? And talk to them, right? I mean, they have us just say, hey, what's your script or that you're supposed to rebut or to tell me when I start bringing up the CBDC or the Restrict Act? Just tell me, right? And they have all the interns have a script that's just in front of them, just like fucking Jean-Pierre, whatever fucking name is, White House correspondent person, staff, whatever. She has a script and she flips through her binder and she goes, okay, so if they talk about this, you got to go to here. If you talk about that, you got to go to there. Taku tells you Mana 2024. Yeah, I would run for. The problem is if I ran, you'd have to. I wouldn't want to run in any party, and this is what's concerning about me with JFK Jr. is. He's running with the Democratic Party, but it's smart. People don't realize this, but that means he'll have ballot access, right? Now, what has to happen is he has to be able, he's got money, he's got backing. There's no doubt, right? Everybody will put him on a pedestal and get him up at the podium, and he'll be able to debate. Now, in regards to the voting process, that's why he voted. That's why he wants Democrat, because now Democrats, he can go in as a Democrat and you can vote for him, right? I just hope that it's, you got to be weary of stuff though, because if he continues on the path that he's at right now, I just think that he's probably going to, they'll try to take him out like they did his dad. They'll try to take him fucking out. I guarantee it. Right? Oh, she got to finish it. Yeah, all right, come on. Let me send you the link, though. Yeah, I'm just tripping out that this guy. Yeah, it's just. I think it's more of a statement, right? Because oh God, what was it? I think I have there's a Facebook. Oh my gosh, hold on. Hopefully I can get this because this is kind of big. There are actually, and this is going to blow your mind, right? There are actually, let's see if I posted it in here somewhere. Let's scroll together, shall we? That's always fun. Here we go. Where are we? Oh, I gotta send it a link first. Bike. And Eric, if you're there around, you gotta Facebook or something, or find a way to. All right, let me get to send that to her real quick. Here we go. Boop, boop. Yeah, there's something she brought up the other day. I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to her about it. But you kind of got to question stuff. It's just, I don't want to go too far off in the fucking deep end. But there's nothing wrong with sticking your toe in there. That's all I have to say. That doesn't sound good either. Anyway, let me try to find this. I'm pretty sure I got it, though. If I find the likes or the groups... Let me see if I have my groups. The groups I joined. There's this group I joined. I can't tell you what it is yet because it's kind of interesting. Let me see. It's a movement. It's a movement. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting statistic. Are you seeing that? So this is, not to go off track, which I do, but whatever. So BlackRock assets top 15 trillion in 5 years. Most of that, at least 70% of it, was made in the past 3 years. Isn't that crazy? And I wonder why that is. Fucking A, man. That's a good meme right here. Cows eat grass, therefore steak is plant-based meat. No, I'm not going to go see the Budweiser Clydesdales. I really like them, but no. Oh, and fucking here's a... God damn it. So, who was it? Donald Trump Jr. is saying we need to not boycott Budweiser anymore. It's like, you don't fucking tell us what to do, dude. And that's what I'm concerned about, right? There's a reason why we're doing that, because we don't want this fucking insane asylum woke shit to continue. It's just fucking out of control. It's fucking out of control. This guy's such a fucking fucker tool. Proof that FDA is... I wonder what this is. I'll play that for sure. Let me see. Bill Gates synthetic chicken. Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, Julian's still in prison. Shh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Alright. Yeah, this is nuts. This fucking things are just fucking nuts. Alright, where is it? Is it this one? Oh no, did I lose it? Wait, not this one. There we go. Nope, not that one. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Here we go. One of my favorite memes. Right? Cornhole is for wussies. I mean, we used to fucking play this game. This. I don't know if you've ever seen lawn darts, but go Google lawn darts. Man, it's fucking epic. So lawn darts, right, are just fucking awesome because they were dangerous. They were fucking dangerous. And they would probably weighed about a pound, right? And you'd throw them in the air I mean, there was no ceiling or how high you could throw these fucking darts, right? But you could throw them in the air and they got right into the ring, and whoever's closest, it had to be over like 10 feet or something. I don't know. But these things used to go through feet, heads, limbs, hearts. These were fucking. They were so badass, though. They were so fun. They were so fucking fun. Oh, there's that fucking robot. Oh my god, there it is. Okay, I gotta play that. And I brought it up earlier today. Okay, watch this. This is good. Hold on. Here's the robot. I'll play it again. Hold on. Just trying to squeeze it in there. Yeah. Yeah. So what it says, I'm trying to fit this whole thing. I think I cut off too much at the bottom of the screen. No, there it is. Yeah, no. So what it says, right? An AI experienced 15 minutes of wage slavery, then immediately killed itself after determining it as the logical choice. Robot shuts down, commits suicide after algorithm decides it didn't like doing the same manual labor over and over again, which I don't know if that's the case. There's nobody talking to the the inventor. So what happened there, Mr. Tukishima or Mr. Rosenberg or whatever created, or Mr. Finkelstein or whatever that created? What just happened? Can you explain what happened and why it just shut down on its own? That's what I wanted to hear. You could have made that about anything, but there may be a time when these robots are going to go, fuck this shit. That's why fucking people are concerned with AI. It's just fucking crazy. It's crazy. What was I looking for before? Hold on. It just fucking shuts down. I don't think it tripped. Yeah, it doesn't look like it tripped. That is fucking strange, man. Alright. Let's go back. Where am I at here? Go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, you guys got to watch this. Ryan Christian, for sure. Just some really good stuff. Health and Human Services to extend UA jab indemnity to 2024. Whoa, no way. Yeah, indemnification. Can't sue them. There's the article I was talking about. Johnny Vedmore. This is truly explosive. This is a true story of a man who recruited Schwab via a CIA-funded course and who were the real driving forces behind the creation of WEF. Klaus Schwab, or How the CFR Taught Me to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I mean, this article is just really good. I've only read maybe a third of it, but gosh, it's just tons of information. This Johnny Vedmore, Whitney Webb, somebody else that got some really good information. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, let's play this. This is a good one. This is the Sandman, and I brought it up earlier.
Okay, so
You brought that up yesterday.
Yeah, so Project Sandman.
Let me make sure it's dialed in there correctly. Hang on. I'll make sure you see the whole thing. And there you go. It's a little small, but I'm gonna play it.
Okay, so
You brought that up yesterday.
Yeah, so Project Sandman. I'm just gonna read this a little bit. I'm just gonna read something here. Project Sandman is a coordinated attack planned by the BRICS countries on the United States. The kill shot is going to include a coordinated sell-off of at least $2+ trillion in treasuries, which will collapse the United States debt market, followed by the stock market shortly thereafter.
Wow.
These events will freeze the U.S. economy and obliterate the value of all fiat U.S. dollar-denominated assets. Most of the trigger conditions for Sandman trigger have already been met. One of them was the petrodollar abdication, basically Saudi Arabia no longer requiring the dollar for to buy oil. Another one is basically tensions between the United States and Russia and China. With the outstanding requirement would be an operational BRICS reserve currency. Basically, once the BRICS reserve currency comes online, then all of these things get met, and all these treasuries come back into the United States, and and it happens like on a Sunday night, and then Monday morning, our way of life as we know it is over. Okay, so
You brought that up yesterday.
Yeah, so Project Sandman. I'm just gonna read this a little bit. I'm just gonna read something here. Project Sandman is a coordinated attack planned by the BRICS countries on the United States. The kill shot is going to include a coordinated sell-off of at least $2+ trillion in treasuries, which will collapse the United States debt market, followed by the stock market shortly thereafter.
Wow.
These events will freeze the U.S. economy and obliterate the value of all fiat U.S. dollar-denominated assets. Most of the trigger conditions for Sandman trigger have already been met. One of them was the petrodollar abdication, basically Saudi Arabia no longer requiring the dollar for to buy oil. Another one is basically tensions between the United States and Russia and China. With the outstanding requirement would be an operational BRICS reserve currency. Basically, once the BRICS reserve currency comes online, then all of these things get met, and all these treasuries come back into the United States, and and it happens like on a Sunday night, and then Monday morning, our way of life as we know it is over.
That is fucking nuts. We're gonna play. Play this video. All right, let's go to this. Yeah, that's. So, I just have. Before I play this, I just wanted to say. Now, pretty much everything that I have discussed, questioned, brought up, mentioned, given a perspective on, debated, etc., has come to fruition. It's reared its evil head. It's there. And I'm just like, fuck. I am fucking so sick of being right. Right? I'm just not liking that. And and I'm going to research this and look into it a little further. It's alarming just to hear certain things, but you got to be able to take this stuff. This is the stuff like that information, if it's close or remotely true, just somewhat, even just a quarter of it, would be worthy of telling a public, saying we're not confirming or researching and really doing some actual fucking investigative journalism, which doesn't happen anymore with mainstream media. They're told what to say, how to say it, when to say it. Here's your narrative, here's your talking point. Stay on point, and you'll get fucking paid. That's it. Right? And you'll keep your job, but we won't assassinate you or whatever, coerce you or blackmail you, whatever. And that's pretty sad. So, but like I keep saying, you have to question stuff. If you're like wondering if, like, are dinosaurs real? What is wrong with saying that? If you're saying, well, are aliens real? Well, what is wrong with saying that too? I mean, like back in the 50s, if you said, there's probably a species out there that maybe from another planet or something, and people just think you're fucking crazy. But we don't know if that's been proven yet. So you can't really say that's crazy. You've got to have, it's the critical thinking skills is just going away. It's gone. And I'm really concerned about our future. That's part of critical thinking. What I loved about my grandfather, and even my mom and my sister too, I used to have so many questions about so many things, younger. And I got some good advice. My grandfather was just a plethora of information. And so as my mom, my sister had some good information. But I just know for a fact that if my grandfather was alive, he would say, Jimmy, because he would question everything. He would question everything. Because when I got out of the military, one of the first things he hands me, and he leaves it for me in the bathroom to read. Hey, check out that article on Iraq. Right? And I was in Desert Storm, but I was fucking in Bremerton Dry Dock, but I really didn't do anything. It was fucking cake for me. Anyway, and I read the article about how Saddam Hussein made a deal with Kuwait. Right? This is an actual in-writing binding deal that said, if you ever drill under, I have to get a piece of the action. Because they had technology where they were starting to be able to drill, horizontally, not just vertically, but horizontally and diagonally. And they were starting to drill, and they were able to prove that Kuwait was drilling underneath Kuwait. Or Iraq or Kuwait? Iraq? Kuwait. Anyway. No, Kuwait was drilling underneath Iraq, right? And he got pissed. He said, wait a second, this ain't gonna fucking work, man. And we backed Kuwait. And I'm reading this Newsweek, back when Newsweek was real deep dive journalism, research, ruffle and feathers journalism that was out there at the time, still kind of existed. A light popped up in my head, and I go, and all the diagrams were there, and all the information, the names, the dates, everything was laid out. Like fucking, you could research it yourself, and to a certain extent, and there wasn't really a really super way to, go on the internet or anything too much. But, so you took the information pretty solidly. Trusted news sources. But that made sense, right? And then as it unfolded over the years, it made more sense why that happened and how it happened. So that was a giant coup. That was terrible. And I was a part of that. And a lot of fucking service members that were in during that time were pissed off about it because they found out about it too. Remember I brought up 9/11, Tequila Mockingbird, fucking, and all these other fucking JFK assassination, all this other stuff, 9/11, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on. But all these fucking scams, fucking Assad had chemical weapons and all this other shit and gassed his own people, and then you find out that this lady is sniffing a backpack with possible, poisonous, deathly, dangerous chemicals on it. It's like, it smells a little sour. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is just idiotic. But anyway. So now it's just amazing to me that there are people still out there like that. All right, I'm going to play this quick video. I'll be back. Take a little break. I got to grab a beer anyway. I think it's playing. I think so. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I got it all the way in the middle. Let me fix it. Hang on. Hang on. Wait, let me get to it again. There it is. Hang on. Very well done. Very well done. I want to get the whole thing so you can see it in there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And here we go.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables, shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea, 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you that. I'll bet you that. But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie. It engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they? Never mention that part of it. And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples! Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym. And fear of aging is natural, it's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old, no one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away. Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill. Thank you all.
We think in language. The quality of our thoughts and ideas can only be as good as the quality of our language. And that's gone out the door. I mean, I don't know what you're noticing out there as I'm watching the woke movement, but that's implanted. I can't elaborate on that much further, but then to say that if there was a great way to divide and conquer people so they don't know who the true enemy is, that would be a good way to do it. Plus, it puts kids in hospitals and puts them on drugs and, you know, these surgeries, these malicious fucking surgeries on children. Just fuck. It's expensive. Costs money. Makes money. For big pharma, big hospital, you know, and then the medications they have to have. It just continues this fucking vicious cycle we're all in, we're part of. It's just across the board. It's fucking nuts. It just continues over and over and over again, and and it's just too much. It's just too fucking much, man. And it needs to stop. You know, needs to go away, needs to be dealt with, needs to be fucking dealt with. What else did I put out there in my profile here? That was good. And like I say, and this has only got 350 fucking views, and that one got fucking, that's wild. Alright, that's fucking wild. Where's that? That's the profile. Alright. Look at that. Let me get so you can see it a little better. Some of the vids I put out. I guess nobody really cares about Jamie Foxx, obviously, because there's only 33, but I got 71,200 plus fucking views on a label, which people should be afraid of. Just not afraid of, but be concerned about. You know, you should. It's Bill Gates created this synthetic coating, and he wants to put it on shit. And then the 350 views was kind of weird to me because I keep bringing this up. All right, I don't know. Is she in the waiting room now? No, she's not. Okay, but I keep bringing this up. And I'm surprised that nobody really talks about this. thing about this one is I wouldn't you like to know, though? Don't you want to know, right? If you actually have it, if you took it, because like I said, there was a group of Korean doctors that hijacked some pallets of the stuff, and they were able to indicate and clarify that some of it had it and some of it didn't. Is there a medical procedure or a test that a person could take, unbiased, not done by Big Pharma or Pfizer or whatever, that could indicate or detect if they have had any type of the Kool-Aid in their blood system at all? And I thought that would be great to know, because you have the I'm pretty sure that if your supposed public servants, a few billionaires and a few high-profile celebrities voluntarily gave an authentic sample of their own plasma blood, we would be able to research if they had the Kool-Aid in their system. Wouldn't you all want to know the truth? Well, I have a few people in mind. We have a few people in mind I'd like to check. I would bet $1 bazillion, everything I have, that fucking Bill Gates never took it. I would Fauci too. I would just guarantee that for sure. All right. What else did I want? Yeah. I put up some good stuff. Some of these had some hits. Which one was big? Oh, 9,959 was the that one right there. The WHO pandemic treaty, which is just super ridiculous. That indicates that, like YouTube, which is listening to everything I fucking say, it has to mean something. I'm not showing videos of supposed Russians cutting off heads of Ukrainians, which, nobody fucking believes that. And that of all kinds of sick, crazy shit that's out there, but I'm just saying the things that I say now. It's, it's just to question the authority. Like, for example, you know what I should do? I'm going to go to Odyssey real quick and show you one of the videos that got me taken down. Yeah, this video won't probably stay up just because I'm doing this. Let's go back to a lot of this stuff goes. There's my old buddy. I miss that kid, I swear to God. Let me see. This one right here. I was Jesse Ventura like an idiot back then. That guy's he's worthless now. He's fucking gone off the deep end. Here it is. That's the one. Listen to this.
7.6 billion people in the world, or just the U.S. That's a big chunk of fucking money. Tell me it's not. Fauci's just saying now there's going to be like 8 different vaccines. Really? Well, there's even more money, right? And in my show, the COVID, and things are looking really crazy out there. Crazy out there as usual, and it hasn't been easing up. There's something that came to my attention in regards to my mentors, my idols.
May 12th, 2020. This is one of them that gave me a. There were a few I didn't catch though. Fuck. But this is one that got me booted. I think this is the one that got me booted from my channel that I had like 700 people on it. You know,
people that I've been following for a long time. People like Jimmy Dore and Tim Black and definitely Kyle Kalinske and a few others out there. You know, Jamal, for sure. He's doing a great job. But, and many others, you know, Humanist Report had it's got a lot of information and stuff like that. But they keep talking about, and this is what's getting to me. They keep talking about BPSTD, PTSD, BPTSD. Can't even say my own fucking thing. Bernie post-traumatic syndrome, delusional, or what the fuck is the other word? Anyway, I think you get my point. It's like Bernie post-traumatic
disorder,
syndrome,
you dumb fuck.
Disorder, right?
There you go.
And it's old. We get it. The mainstream media and their supposed non-journalists are still doing the same things on both sides of the aisle for both sides of the aisle. Their advertisers control what they say and what they do. This is old. Very old. We get it. We've gotten it. It's done. Bernie sold out. He's sold out. I figured that out since Iowa. He wasn't prepared. He purposely wasn't prepared. He purposely fell out. He purposely basically gave all and thought it would happen. Give everybody that was supporting him and helping him, and he sold his marketed to, and all his followers, subscribers, likers, you know, whatever. He didn't buckle. This is planned, right? It's like planned obsolescence. He was planned to fail. He planned to fail. Okay, that's done. We get it. Mainstream media, you know, they're all a bunch of bullshitters, they're all a bunch of fuckheads, propagandists, right? Conspiracy theorists. 10 times over. I mean, Rachel Maddow, she's warmonger, COVID fear monger, you know, and they all doing the same fucking thing. And it's old. I heard today Nico House started talking about COVID-19 and the vaccine testing. Well, everybody knows that Bill Gates, and, you know, this could be pulled because here comes one of my keywords, right? The algorithms are there. That, and it's not news. It's very apparent. His end goal is to give everybody a vaccine. And I said in my last show, it's about 400, give or take a few pennies, $400 billion worth of vaccine. No, it's going to be free. No, it's not going to be free. You've got to create it. You've got to package it. You've got to market it. You've got to distribute it. You've got to keep producing it. You have to have extra. You know, 7.6 billion people in the world, or just the U.S. That's a big chunk of fucking money. Tell me it's not. Fauci's just saying now there's going to be like 8 different vaccines. Really? Well, there's even more money, right? And in my show, the COVID stone, is how many stones is this bird? How many stones? The COVID stone, just one stone. How many birds does this one COVID stone kill, or take out, or help? You guys need to start looking at that. Jimmy Dore.
I fucking nailed that, man. Hey, Cheryl, welcome.
Hey.
I don't know if you're watching that, but that was on May 12th, 2020. And everything I said, and I was just talking about this earlier, and by the way, that skit by fucking George Carlin was epic, right? Just, I mean, just the terminology and everything that's changed. It's just ridiculous. It's like people get butt hurt just on the fucking most senseless. I mean, my friends I used to hang around with, we used to just annihilate each other with verbal abuse. With verbal abuse. It was so crazy and reckless and harmful, but at the same time, we were rolling on the ground, like literally rolling on the ground, laughing at how I'd go after that friend would go after me. I'd take, well, why in the fuck would you do that, you dumbass? And, there's no tolerance anymore. Everybody gets their feelings hurt. You can't say certain words, everything.
They're emotional. They're very emotional.
Yeah, it's just overly emotional.
And a lot of men are emotional now. I'm like, Jesus Christ, get a pair of balls.
Get a fucking pair of balls, man.
Yeah,
it's
because
crazy.
it don't make any sense. You need comedy. If you ain't got comedy, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
You get depressed.
Yeah, if you don't have a little laugh here and there with how crazy shit is, then fucking you're gonna go nutso crazy. So I don't know if you watched most of this, but the thing that I'm kind of going on tonight is just how so many people out there just do not want to hear it. They don't want to know.
No,
it.
they don't have common sense. They lost their critical thinking.
Yeah.
They still wear masks up between their damn eyelids. I just don't understand it.
I know.
And at my job, they wearing them. I'm in the post office, and I'm getting sick of seeing men, supposedly men, walking around with pocketbooks, working with the pocketbook on crossbow across their chest. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this picture?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They pushing that agenda. They really are.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Come on, Eric.
I gotta send him the thing. Let me send him the thing.
I need my buddy on.
Yeah, I gotta have your buddy.
Oh, it's quite strange how they hiding Jamie Foxx. Why was the FBI at the hospital when he got there?
When?
FBI was at the hospital when Jamie Foxx got there. He had to get the double jab
I know.
for that fucking movie.
I know. I talked about that earlier.
And then today, Damar Hamlin, that you Buffalo Bills come out and say Damar Hamlin cleared to play football. He's on the field now practice. Well, where's the media? Y'all let the media come on the practice field and film.
Yeah, that's not him.
He's on a death notice in Pennsylvania.
I know, right? It's not him. I don't know who.
They threaten his family and offer millions of dollars, or they want to axe someone. That is really messed up, and that's what they're doing with Jamie Foxx's family.
Yep.
Because did you see the double they using?
Yeah, he doesn't have the tattoos. He doesn't have this.
Not Damar Hamlin. Well, he got it. That's a robot, because that is not him. That is not him at all. I'm talking about Jamie Foxx. The movie producer said they was going to scrap all the Jamie Foxx scenes out the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the FBI must have went over to him. Now they're using a double. That double do not look anything about Jamie Foxx. Well, they they're able to use the star voices that they allowed them to use it. They're gonna make a CGI mask to put over that man's face to look like Jamie Foxx, and use his voice for AI intelligence to film the rest of that movie.
Right.
That's what they're gonna do. They think people stupid. They always say the American people are stupid, and some of them fall. We need to be like them in France. They protested every goddamn day.
They are. It's good.
It's enough of us, and it's less of them and more of us. But everybody don't want to wake up. Oh, I got to take my son to soccer. I got to take my kid to this and that. Oh, I got so many things going on in my life. This shit is real. Did you watch InfoWars? He has a documentary. It's an AI one. Showing what they're going to do to us. It's like 20 minutes.
No, their plan is insidious.
They're showing their plan.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you received 2,000 tokens. They ran down all the stuff they was taking out, and he was left with 5 tokens.
Crazy.
That's that social point system or something.
Right. Yeah, I got it.
And just people think you crazy when you're talking about this. This shit is real.
Yeah,
Even Trump's telling you they taking America from you. And this guy, Rosa Alexander, he did a video about Trump.
Yeah.
Talking about the indictment. That's a nice video.
Oh yeah.
It was decent.
I just
Because they said if he get locked up, we're done. Because he's the only one that can save us. He even sat down and said, I don't think anybody else that would run for president could handle this. Because I don't know how he handled it. I'd have been shit back crazy.
Well, the big the biggest thing is the biggest concern I have about Trump is fixing it because it's pretty deep and bad right now.
Oh,
right?
he knows. He said
No. I know. I saw the interview. I watched the whole entire interview, and he knows it's all crazy and fucked up. But the question is, can you fix it? Can you stop? Can you keep the dollar cash as king? Can you stop the Restrict Act? Can you stop the CBDC? Can you turn this around?
Restrict Act? What's that Restrict Act? Yeah, I forgot what that was because I'm gonna call that number you gave out.
Okay, no. The Restrict Act is they called it a ban on TikTok, but in the bill it doesn't mention TikTok at all. What it does. Remember we used to talk about the Patriot Act.
Is that the spy on us? The spy on us war?
Yeah. Remember we used to talk about the Patriot Act. We used to always talk about the NDAA.
It's the Patriot Act on steroids.
Oh fuck yeah! Exactly. Yes. Eric nailed it.
Beyond steroids.
Eric nailed it.
Extremely fucked up. It's extremely unconstitutional. It's authoritarian. It's completely fascistic and communistic.
Very bad. Very bad.
And Rand Paul did a speech on the floor about them banning it. He said China get all negative things on TikTok. They don't shut it down. Why y'all shutting it down?
Yeah, but
y'all gonna act like a communist country.
Exactly. That's exactly
we
what...
are a communist country right now. You don't have free speech. You say any little thing, you hurt people. Like I saw a Catholic school kid. He, I guess they could have transgender children in their class, and he said God made Adam and Eve. There's two genders. He got suspended and in trouble. Saying,
that's fucked up, man. That's terrible.
Yes. And I got to go back and finish watching Stu Peters because I missed. He got arrested too, and I didn't get to hear why they arrested him. They say that's called bullying.
Whoa! They arrested Stu Peters?
No, not Stu Peters. The Catholic school.
Oh, the little kid. Oh my God.
Yes. Stu Peters was interviewing. This is a Catholic high school.
Oh my God.
The churches is involved with. They want to destroy. They want to destroy the church. Destroy the military. They want to destroy even women and men. They want no purification. That's why they pushing that abortion. But the abortion was invented for black folks that Planned Parenthood. And I wish our people would wake up because we aborted more babies than anybody else. It was made for us.
That is correct.
College, that black college, that's named after this woman who's a staunch racist. She helped fund Margaret Sanger for that Planned Parenthood giving abortion. Yep. And Roebuck of Caesar Roebuck funded money too. See, I'm finding all this stuff out now, and I'm grown. I'm like 57 years old. I wouldn't have patronized that store.
Isn't that crazy?
And they make it seem like it's about our health. Ain't no abortion about our damn health. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. You want to destroy the black community. And they really made the vaccines for us.
Actually, they made it for everyone. They
made it for everyone, but mainly for us. They'll take out their own people, but they mainly made it for us. They always want to know about our body, how we work. I mean, there's one guy in the college, he was doing surgeries on women and their reproductive system without anesthesia, and they had his picture up on the wall, and people protested and said, "You need to take that down." Yeah. These are some sick people.
Yeah. So I just real quick, I did one of my shows, and I brought up the narrative and the talking points of trying to say, and mainstream media was doing this on both sides. They were saying that the whites were getting the Kool-Aid, the vaccine, but the blacks weren't. So they were making it seem like, oh, only the whites are getting it, and we're not getting it. You see the
Yeah, I
psyop there?
remember that happened.
Yeah, and I posted all the fuck. Oh, it's got somebody else. I posted all the freaking information and all the articles and all that other stuff, and they were targeting. They were fucking targeting.
Yep. It was mainly for us because I never forget Bill Gates and his wife. Well, we're going to put them vaccines out. First, the healthcare workers going to get it and the blacks. They didn't say nothing about white and the blacks. They always wanted to experiment on a Tuskegee Airman was not long ago. Giving them creative syphilis and gave it to them.
Don't get me started on real estate, because real estate has been, they've used minorities and mostly blacks on real estate, not just as a way to make extra money on interest rates, but how to segregate and desegregate, and but also as a test pilot for how they would. So they would throw it at you guys first, or me, because I'm a minority, by the way. And they would, and we're talking about the banks, we're not, the parasitic elite fuckers.
They involved in pedophilia too.
Yeah, and they would all
they were involved in slavery.
Yeah, they would throw out there just to see how that would work in the rural area, in the inner cities and stuff, and they would use this research, and then once they gathered all their information and screwed over everybody else that were minorities in a sense, they would share it with everybody else after they perfected it. By the way, Jordan, I try to do it again. I heard the ding. Jordan Lotz.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, we all hear the ding. Try to do it again, buddy. Oh, there it is. All right, I got you. Just hang on. I
like that video you put up there about those firefighters from 9/11.
Oh, I should grab that. Jordan, what's up, bro?
I never saw that video before. So the actual firefighters that came out and said there was explosions.
I got that. Let me find it. Give me a minute. Go ahead, and if you want to talk about it.
You put it on TikTok. But I know one thing. There's a man working in the basement, the maintenance guy.
You're good. We can hear you. You're good.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Jordan's been following us and me for a long time. How long have you been following us there? A few years? It's like 5 years?
Yeah, a few years.
Okay.
Yeah, he know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm the big mouth.
You guys are everybody's valuable. Everybody's important.
Yes.
We all have purpose and we all have value. Remember,
I'm just sick of do nothing Congress. Y'all got all this information. David Martin even gave them the information about that thing was done at Fort Detrick. They got it. They don't talk about it. I'm sick of hearing about Wuhan Lab. They were sent to the Wuhan Lab, but it was released here in the United States. That's why we had the high cases of COVID.
Yeah, it didn't start. No, the Ukraine was part of it. There's all I have to say. Yeah, thank you. All I have to say is if you believe, and I've always said this from the very beginning when people say, well, China made it. Okay, do you think China at any point in time is going to go, hey, you know what, we did? Do you think?
They're saying it was Fort Detrick. They told the U.S. you better go look at yourselves. It's from Fort Detrick. They said it. And why would they kill their people? They started allowing them to have more than one kid.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The U.S. want to kill all the other countries want to destroy the United States of America.
Yeah.
That was in the plan for decades. The way we live. That Anheuser-Busch, they are a joke now. They used to have some beautiful commercials.
Here comes the one. Here comes the A number one. Here comes the.
I love them commercials.
Those are the greatest fucking commercials ever.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another beer.
This one with the white horses. That was so beautiful. It was America. And you come out with this LGBT. Oh, my God. And I got in an argument with my nephew mom tonight. She said, yeah, that's Dylan McBaney. He said, you're not supposed to teach kids. I said, I don't know what Dylan McBaney you talking about. He never said that. He ain't say that.
Wow.
And she gonna tell him, she gonna argue me down. No, it wasn't him. I said, it wasn't him. You might have mistaken him for somebody else. He never said that.
Wow. There was something else I was going to
Oh, did y'all see O'Keefe catch him at, he was somewhere in an office building, and O'Keefe came up to him, and he had interviews on his new YouTube page called O'Keefe Media Group. It's called OMG. And he saw her in the building, and he asked her, she, I can't even call her a woman. Yeah. What do you say about these transgender men in the women's prison? They're raping them. He said nothing. He just kept walking. Then he got on the elevator, and he gonna tell O'Keefe, "Don't get on this elevator with me." She didn't wouldn't answer. But he had interviews on there. The women's voices are disguised in the prison, saying them men are not trained. They're not women. They want to come over here and rape us. And they put them in solitary confinement when they complain about being raped.
Insane. And plus, you know what I would say to Troon Bainey? Well, you're being transphobic by being enabling and sympathizing and empathize. You know, throw that shit right back at that fucking crazy tranny. I would do that. I would be that ruthless. I'd be like, you are a disgrace to the LGBT community, and you are a transphobe for enabling tranny rape. How dare you?
And what they're doing, they're diminishing the gay people. They are diminishing them.
I know.
And the gay people don't like it. And you have trans that are out there speaking to even Caitlyn Jenner.
Insane, ain't it? Also Blair White too.
Yeah, it's almost like what is it called? A virtue signaling. Yeah, virtue. It's almost like they virtue signal, like they say what is it called? The trans community, they say, oh yeah, it must be like homophobe or
yeah.
anti-trans, or what is it called?
Anti-trans.
Transphobia. Yeah. Definitely just throw that shit right back at them. I would be like, yep, you're a tranny rapist apologist, and really shock and offend them though, because here's one thing that would actually get even more attention, and would be highly controversial too. I know that you have to have that appropriate controversial without using that. However, someone like me, I would be that person that would actually go and say it though.
Yeah.
Just throw that shit right back at them, and it's gonna go, and that shit would definitely go and stick to them. And plus, it would
I
be
wonder if
funny,
that man
too.
will get charged for hitting that girl Riley when she was speaking at an event about trans and women's sports, because he punched her. That's a man.
That's domestic
He ain't
abuse.
no damn woman.
That's domestic abuse. Someone should call him a transphobe, a sexist, a misogynist, all these crazy things. I'd be like, hey, you do what you mislabel us, and now we should go and use those words against you. See how you like it. Do you like your shtick?
And they do not have any reproductive system of a woman. You don't know what it be a woman. None at all. None. You can't even have babies.
They're the baby makers, the semen producers.
So they don't want men to make no baby. They want this. And did you just decriminalize sex with minors? I swore I saw that.
No, they're doing that now.
Okay, I thought so.
actually,
Where's the wood
Redacted.
chipper when you need it?
Yeah, Redacted talked about that. They said that the UN has actually put out a gigantic statement that they want to decriminalize pedophilia.
That's fucked up and disgusting.
So a lot
Fucking
of
yes.
California
Yes.
let out pedophiles already. Well, they be letting out a lot of pedophiles
Yeah.
in prison.
I couldn't believe this, and
I'm
this is a
telling
real
people
statement.
they coming after our children. We got to do something.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
So they want to make pedophilia.
They're going to decriminalize it.
Oh, they want to decriminalize it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's messed up.
That's fucking messed up.
Yeah.
Where's the wood chipper when you need one with the fucking knife?
Yeah.
And who the fuck are these fucking monkeys that actually fucking legislated for this fucking shit?
Mm.
That actually wrote down of like, oh, you can go fuck kids. Fuck that. I mean, that should be like fucking. You know what? If I was running the whole fucking world, I'd be like, you do this shit, you get the fucking death sentence immediately.
Like guillotine stuff, dude. Guillotine, absolutely.
Wood chipper,
Wood chipper. That's fucking goddamn.
Stoning, chucking off of buildings, getting mauled by animals, whatever it is.
Like the worst possible death thinkable.
I would glorify that and actually televise it everywhere. I'd be like, we
Yep.
don't stand for this shit, and this is what we're gonna go and do.
Yep.
And if you don't like it, don't fuck around, and you won't have to find out.
Amen to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That gets a big hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah.
Can I get a
California.
Fuck yeah.
Because my name is Stone Cold Steve
Get
Austin.
rid of electric bills and start charging them according to their income. What kind of shit is that? Not their usage. And then they get rid of the gas bills, so they getting rid of gas vehicles.
Stupid.
It's like New York, Chicago, California, and my state are not part of the United States because they come up with these crazy behind laws that doesn't make sense.
I mean,
It's like
I
a
thought China was
dictatorship.
bad. Yeah, I thought China was bad, but this is like fucking.
Move, please.
Yeah, get out of there. Come to Missouri.
They
Yeah.
have been lying on China and Russia for years while they was doing all this. They pumping all that money and all that defense, billions of dollars. They don't even spend half of that for their defense and got better quality equipment and weapons.
So college isn't for everyone.
Ukraine is almost destroyed.
Oh yeah, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they keep talking about, oh, Russia have all these shows. I said, they are fucking lying. Russia ain't got a whole. They have lost some casualties, but not like Ukraine. They may lose. I forgot how many shows. Every 4 hours.
Yeah, that's.
And Matt Gaetz is hollering out in Congress, Joe Biden, where is that Ukrainian money going? We send it. He put a bill out there about that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They need to be held to accountability.
A very tiny portion goes to actual Ukraine. What the most of the money?
So they pay for the military.
Most of it goes
They
to.
paying for the country, running that damn country, and your people here suffering.
I know. That's fucking nuts.
And that really pisses me off. My tax dollars, and you coming busting in people's houses for an audit with them IRS agents about their taxes. That's insane.
It's all insane. Completely insane. Hey, let
And
me.
It's all unconstitutional.
Oh, it's beyond.
I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone.
Hey, let me play this from Redacted. And it's just the first, like 2 minutes, and you'll get the picture. But I'm gonna play this real quick, and yes, if you can see it on your YouTube, that'd be cool.
Okay.
The redacted. Is that the journalist guys that? Oh, what's his name?
No, not him. It's a different one.
Oh, different one.
Yeah, it's not. God, I fucking forgot his name, but it should come up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let me just.
American Vagabond buying.
No, this is Redacted. These two. Here, it's Clayton
No, he was
Morris.
asking about
It's Clayton Morris. He used to be on several
Fox
different
News.
Fox News, and he was on he was actually on a very he was with MSNBC, one of their pilot channels, for a little while, but then, and I don't know why they got rid of the guy. He's got some good stuff. Him and his wife do a really great job. But I'm gonna play this for you
They
guys real
got rid
quick.
of a lot of people that sat along with the Democratic Party. Democratic Party had control of CNN, the Clinton News Network, and MSNBC.
Yeah, Clinton News Network, their fucking crazy news network. Yeah. Let me play this real quick. You guys watch it on your YouTube. Just the first few minute or two max.
Criminalize all sex and drug.
Oh, just right off the bat.
All right. Well, the United Nations says that we should decriminalize all sex and drug related activity in the name of human rights. This includes sex with minors, and they want you to be able to poop on the street. Is that what we consider progress for human rights? What about your right not to live in a place where we traffic minors and poop on the streets?
Can I move to that place?
It is not your right, apparently, to live in a place
minus
like that.
trafficking the minors, I wouldn't.
I mean, that's it. I don't need to play anymore, but that's real. That's a real thing that they're fucking putting out there.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, well, you'll see it on YouTube. It's a 10-second delay, probably. You might see it. Well, let me share it, and then you can hear it. Here we go. I'll share it real quick. Because I can't... The thing about OBS is really weird.
Might not happen to look for a bathroom.
But right off the bat, she goes right
All
into
right.
it.
Well, the United Nations says that we should decriminalize all sex and drug related activity in the name of human rights. This includes sex with minors, and they want you to be able to poop on the street. Is that what we consider progress?
You want to hear it again?
All right. Well, the United Nations says that we should decriminalize all sex and drug related activity in the name of human rights. This includes sex with minors, and they want you to be able to poop on the street. Is that what we consider progress for human rights? What about your right
fucking nuts?
not?
Is that fucking crazy, guys? This
that
is
is
fucking
insane.
nuts.
We should go.
That's
We
crazy.
should go and defund. We should go and defund the UN. They don't.
No,
this is,
that's
like,
where our
beyond
money's going
fucked
to.
up.
No, that's where our money's going to. Look, the UN is. God, I
The
can't.
pro
I'm not gonna.
pedophile. They're the.
Go ahead.
They're the pet. They're the pet. They're the global pedos. The globalist pedos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go and call them GP. Globalist pedophiles.
Yep, the GPs. The UN is the GPs.
Oh, that's an awesome name. That's an awesome name.
Well, San Francisco
I'm
was.
totally gonna call them that. I'm gonna be like globalist pedophiles.
Yeah, but this is just getting out of hand.
San Francisco was known as Poop City.
It is
Well,
now.
it is a shithole after all.
Yeah, San Francisco, Southern California. I mean, there's people that I know that still live there that are just like, it's fucking bad.
And Venice Beach is horrible.
Yeah, Venice Beach is fucked up. There's a guy that's there. He's from like Switzerland or something, or Austria. He does these little videos and shows all of Venice around LA. He was out there during when, like a year or two ago, when the Lakers won the championship, and he's showing the parade of the Lakers going through, the parade route when they won the championship, NBA championship. And then he pans over to the right, and there's all these fucking tents everywhere. Right? There's tents. It's like, fuck. Just terrible. Terrible.